Hi, welcome to Hammy's Barbecue and Grilling. Thanks for making time to be with me today, wherever you might be. Tonight I'm going to be making beer can chicken. It's my third video for the channel. If you've already seen or made beer can chicken, stick around. You might learn something. I got a real cool gadget to share with you. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we have a whole chicken. You'll want one that's hopefully around 4 to 6 pounds. That's the typical size. This one's about 6 and change. I have it in a disposable tin aluminum tray. I get these at Costco in bulk, and they're really handy, both for prepping food and when you're ready to serve it. And they're 100% recycled aluminum, which is really cool. I have a piece of aluminum foil under it to catch any rub or any mess I'm going to make. So what I did first was I went ahead and rinsed the chicken in cold water, tossed out the giblets, and patted it dry with a paper towel. The first thing we're going to do, I discovered this in a Thanksgiving turkey recipe, is we're going to use, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Tony Chachere's famous Creole cuisine. I've used a different version for my Thanksgiving turkeys. This one, and they're all called injectables. This one's called roasted garlic and herb. It's already pre-made. You just shake it up. It comes wrapped up with a kind of disposable or plastic injector. I do highly recommend, if you do decide to inject food a lot, get an injectable kit, which I got on Amazon. But if you're new to it, try this out. It's real easy. It's real sturdy. It'll last you a couple of times. So we're going to go ahead and open up the injectable and go ahead and put it in a measuring cup. Of course, it doesn't want to cooperate because I'm videotaping. There we go. And again, you give it a good shake, and this will give the chicken some pretty amazing flavor and amazing moisture. Keep it from getting dry, even the breast. So it's got a little piece there of plastic. I'm just going to pour half of it in the measuring cup, or you can use any old glass that you have lying around. And then what we're going to do, if you've never injected it before, this was new to me until a couple years ago. You open up, it'll come out. So you want to pull it just before it comes out, etc. Get used to that motion. But we're going to dip it in the solution, and I hope you can see that. My arm's in the way. It's slowly sucking up the marinade. And then you dip it, you poke it into the chicken, and you're going to do this in about 1-inch intervals. You'll see the chicken kind of expand as it fills up with fluid. Totally normal. One reason I have this tray and not just a paper towel, and again I'm going to put in more injectable here, is eventually you'll get a lot of fluid. See, it's already kind of starting to come out of the chicken, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Approximately 1-inch intervals. If it's not a 1-inch or you overlap, it's not a big deal at all. Next thing we're going to do, peanut oil. I don't know what part of the country you're in. Peanut oil can be sometimes tricky to find in supermarkets here. I found this in a local chain we have called Stater Brothers. I've seen it if you're in SoCal or Southern Nevada at Vaughn's. But peanut oil goes really good with poultry. I use this with my Thanksgiving turkey as well. And I've done this beer can recipe before, chicken recipe before, with the injectable and this peanut oil, and it comes out really well. So, liberally coat it. I like these Scott brand shop towels, the kind you use for projects, working on your car. I find they're really good for barbecue and for cooking. They absorb more, and I don't go through as many and don't feel like I'm wasting as much. So, the rub. This is a rub, I hope I'm saying it right. It's Gabrick Barbecue from Texas, out of Adencia City. It's made in Texas. It's called chicken rub seasoning. It's good for any poultry, it states. When I used this for beer can chicken, about 2 months ago, my wife smelled it from the kitchen once I uncapped it, and she said, that smells really good. I got this from a great barbecue shop. If you live here in the Southland in Greater Los Angeles, it's a barbecue shop called Barbecue Land that a friend of mine from high school owns. It's in Long Beach. If you do not live in Greater LA, in Southern California, they do shipping. So look up bbqland.com. Again, that's bbqland.com. It's an awesome store, all kinds of rubs and sauces and gadgets and tons of Traeger stuff if you're into Traeger. So we're going to give that a shake. And we're going to go ahead and make sure that it's ready to apply, no chunks. Smells good already. And then I'm going to go ahead and generously, tongue-tied again, apply the rub about 6 to 10 inches above the bird. Helps the spices and the seasonings distribute evenly. Turn it over. I may have not needed that sheet of foil at all, but my wife will be happy that I'm not making a mess yet. Next, we're going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator, loosely covered with foil, for about an hour. If you're short on time, even 15 minutes. The rub says you can put it on and leave it on for 10 minutes. I like to leave a little more time, especially for the injectable. But loosely covered with foil. We're going to put it in the kitchen refrigerator here for an hour, and then we'll get started out back. So beer can chicken involves, when you take out the giblets, you have an open cavity inside the bird. What you're going to do, if you can picture this, is you put a can of beer or soda into a little rack, little holder, just like this. And the steam from the beer or soda or juice or whatever heating up creates steam and makes the chicken more moist. This definitely occurs. However, this is the gadget I want to tell you about. I would recommend staying away from this. I have it still. I got it as a gift, and I haven't upgraded to a second gadget like I have here away from me. So let me switch these out. This is a four-piece gadget. It has a drip tray. It has the rack, goes on top. And then it has, and this is all stainless steel, And then it has a can with a lid, and inside here you can put your beer or wine or soda or mineral water or juice. I've tried apple juice, I've tried wine, I've tried beer, and they all turn out great. And you simply put it on, and it has vent holes for the steam to come out. It goes inside like that. It makes for easy cleanup because all the drippings fall right into here. Again, it's all stainless steel. There are different brands I saw on Amazon. This one I bought years ago when Sports Authority was still in business. I bought it at a clearance sale years before they went out of business. That's how old this thing is. And it still works great. This one's from Steven Raichlen. If you haven't heard from him, he's an amazing barbecue master. It's Raichlen, Raichlen, I believe. And it's still on Amazon, $19.99 as of today. And Steven Raichlen Best of Barbecue. There's different brands too that look really good too. Pretty easy to clean up. You might need some steel wool or something strong to get off some of the stains. But again, try to avoid this and try to spend the money and get something like this. The chicken right now is still absorbing all the spices and seasonings. So we'll come back out here shortly and show you what it's like getting the bird on top. So we've got about 20 more minutes for the seasonings to be absorbed into the chicken. It's currently in the refrigerator. I'm going to take it out so it's not so cold. I don't know if it'll get to room temperature, but I'll go ahead and take it out and put it on the kitchen counter and get the temperature down so it's not so cold to put on the grill. I did forget to mention as well, and bear with me, it's my third video, that I applied a coating of coarse ground black pepper to the chicken. So if you haven't done that step already, you can do that. It comes out real nice with a pepper grinder. And if you have a different rub you want to use, or just plain old kosher salt and pepper, that works great too. So we got about 10 minutes before we put the chicken on, so I'm going to heat up my grill. And one thing I bought was a smoker box for my gas grill. This comes from, as you can see, Kingsford. They have off-brand ones that are just a bunch of holes like Swiss cheese. This one has holes in the back. Kingsford says to go ahead and put in soak chips. I've learned over the years that non-soak chips work better. I used to have 2 discs from Steven Raichlen's products, and they worked great, but they didn't last that long, so I wanted to get something bigger. So I'm going to put that in the upper left corner of my grill. We want to do indirect heat, and I have a Genesis 2 E335. Of course, it's not lighting. There we go. And the directions in my manual say to use the far left and far right for indirect cooking in the middle. So I've got my temperature gauge right here. I'm trying out an iGrill 3. If I like it, I'll do another video about that. I just bought it, so that's going to gauge our temperature on my smartphone. So let's get this started. And again, this is going to be a 10-minute warm-up, heat up of the grill. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and take off the cap from the can. Take a beer or whatever drink you want to put in there so it doesn't foam up. I'm going to pour it like you pour a beer with the tilted glass. Usually about half to 2/3 up. Make sure that's back on like so. We've got our chicken here. This can be kind of tricky, even with the tray and everything. So that's it. Yeah, it's tilting a little bit. I can't. Oh, that's why, because it's not all the way on. There we go. Give it a good push down. Still a little tilted, but try to tuck the wings back if you can. I find times they go right back into place, but there we go. Okay, we're going to check our grill. Our grill's right around 350. Our chips aren't smoking yet. Hopefully they will, because it is a lower temperature. It'll come out good either way. And we're going to put it right in the middle, indirect. Here's the second temperature probe of my iGrill 3 gadget from Weber. We're going to put it in the thickest part of the breast without touching bone. Right about that. And then we'll close it. And hope you can see me. The temperature may go down a little bit because of the temperature of the bird, but it'll eventually come up. So we're going to put it at 350 for about an hour and a half, or until the thermometer of the bird reaches 160 to 162 degrees Fahrenheit, because it will rise a few degrees when it rests. So let's come back in a bit. So we're at about 370. I know I said 350, but this grill, that's 370 is about as good as we can do, and that's fine. The chicken is now at 109. Need to get up to 161 and 162 because it will add a few degrees when it rests. So we're going to take a look. It smells like we got some smoke going from that smoker box. Yep, smoker box is going real nice. It's a little bit dark, which is what I expected from the lid. So I'm going to go back into the apartment and get some aluminum foil to cover that. Okay, now comes the moment of truth. Make sure you have some good grilling mitts on. And remember, you're going to have drippings on the bottom there. Look at that juice coming out. I hope you can see that at home, out in YouTube land. So we're going to take off that one. This is our temperature probe. I've got a disposable aluminum tin foil thing. Now this is the tricky part. And to be honest, I'm still not an expert on it, but what I do is I have my mitts on. I have those blue shop towels, or if you have some towels or washcloths that you can get dirty. You can see all those drippings. So I'm going to move it over to the side table. And you may get your mitts dirty, but these are machine washable, but I'm going to try to minimize it with and you just kind of shake it and get your, of course I almost burned my toes but I got it. So we're gonna take that out, drop that in. This is still going to be very hot. It still has liquid in it, so you can see the steam. So we're going to let that rest for about 10 minutes and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, so let's take a look, see how our bird turned out. If you're not into a crispier kind of charred skin, you may want to put foil on it earlier than I did. I like a little bit of char like that myself. I'm going to cut into the breast here and get all that juice. Real good. So there you have it. Hope you learned something tonight. I appreciate you joining me today on my channel and wish you all the best. If you like what you saw, please give me a like and subscribe for future videos. If you want to see what it's like on a charcoal grill, that'll be coming soon. Thanks and take care.